I'm gonna be deleting so many books off my TBR. I actually did this video a couple years ago. I think it was in 2021 into 2022. And I really enjoyed doing it. And I feel like I need to be spring cleaning my bookshelves. I used to read a ton. I had a booktube channel here on YouTube and I consolidated it down to just this channel, which is like lifestyle, some bookish stuff, you know, all that kind of stuff. But ever since I became a mom, I've been having a really hard time reading. And it's not even like finding the time to read, it's finding the mental clarity to read, if that makes sense. So I just feel, you know, overstimulated on a daily basis. And so I can't really do audiobooks anymore because I just need the quiet, you know, like my daughter is asleep right now and the quiet is just so nice and blissful. She is a talker. And so even though she's only gonna be 21 months, she talks nonstop. I also just feel like it's hard for me to focus. And so I recently had picked up 2 books that were not on my TBR, wouldn't have really caught my attention, I think, in years prior, but I really loved how easy they were to read. They were romances, they were emotional, and I gave them 4 and 5 stars. That made me realize that I think that my reading tastes have just changed, that what I have loved reading over the last few years just isn't something that I can focus on at the moment. And I don't even know when I will get to focus on it because I'm planning on getting pregnant again this year. And so I'm gonna be in that little kid baby stage for a while. But that doesn't mean that I just wanna like give up reading as a hobby. I still enjoy the concept of reading. I still love that feeling of reading a book and rating it 4 or 5 stars. I think I need to branch out and find some different genres or even just storylines in general that will make me want to read. I've been looking at a lot of the books that I've had on my want to read that might have sounded good previously, but I read the synopsis and I'm like, this doesn't make me want to pick up this book. And I kind of need that right now. I need books that make me excited to read, that make me want to pick it up, but also books that I don't have to spend a lot of time figuring out the characters, figuring out the plot, and paying a lot of attention, you know? Kind of need those quick go-getters. We're gonna actually look at my reading challenge from 2024 because I have not even looked to see if I've hit my goal. I just updated, I didn't even write reviews. There's no way I could write reviews, but I just updated all my star ratings from last year because I had a ton of books in my like currently reading section of Goodreads that I had never updated. So I finished that, but I haven't looked at my actual challenge. So we're gonna see. I think I set the goal at 50 last year, but I don't know if I hit it or not. And then I actually just did my reading challenge for this year and I did set the goal at 50. At first I set it at 24 because I was like, okay, that is only 2 books a month, you know, for the entire year. But then at the same time, I'm someone that if I set my goals low, I just won't, like, I'll just be okay with not hitting them. So I wanted to set it at 50 because if I only set it at 24, then I'll probably only read 1 book a month or 2 books a month. I'm not gonna be pushing myself to try and read more books. Be like, nah, I only have to read 2 this month. Like, no use even trying to read more than that. So I did still set this year at 50. It's just a Goodreads challenge. It's not like I'm gonna, you know, lose a job or anything. But I'm gonna go to the past challenges and goals and we're gonna see, oh, I was so close. So looking at past challenges, 2017 is when I like really got into reading. I had set my goal at 12 and I read 57. That's also the year that I started my online book club. And so 2018 was when I really started reading even more because I had my online book club, which is still active on Facebook if you want to join. I have the link down below. It's really fun. We do lots of TBR challenges and stuff. But then 2018, I think, is when I started my booktube channel. So I read 76 out of 75. 2019 is when I think I read the most. Yeah, 112 books out of 100 books read. That's when it was like prime booktube, prime my book club on Facebook. It was like 2019 was such a good year. And then 2020, I read 93 out of 100 books. 2021, I read 89 out of 60 books. 2022, I read 104 out of 80 books. I feel like 2022 was also just like a good year. Like good years as in like I accomplished a lot those years. I have really good memories of those years. Then 2023 is when my daughter was born. So I only read 45 out of 100 books. It's actually laughable that I put 100 books as my challenge, but a lot of people said that you would like read a lot in the newborn stage, but I didn't find that true for me. I just feel like my brain, I don't know, some people have said that I probably have ADHD, and that's probably true. And then 2024, I read 47 out of 52 books. Now, honestly, I feel like if I would have looked at that number, I would have actually tried to hit 52 books. 47, that's not bad. That's actually more than I expected it to be. So I set my goal for 50 for 2025. We'll see what happens because I'm hoping to get pregnant in the next month or so. I do IVF. And if I do, I will be having a baby probably end of October into November. Who knows how this year is going to go. We are actually gonna go to my Goodreads shelves and I'm going to look through my want to read. I have 191 books on there and we are going to clear those books out. We're going to get rid of all of the ones that I do not care anymore, that don't sound good anymore. And if you guys have recommendations for me on books that I should try, please drop them below because I have actually added, oh, let me get my bullet journal, I'll show you. So I actually did a spread because I got back into bullet journaling because last year it was just, you know, crazy with a little baby. I definitely didn't do a lot of my hobbies I enjoy, but I'm starting to again. I feel like I'm finally getting into the moment of realizing that I still can do some things that I enjoy and that part of motherhood is so like fluid and fluctuating. And so when I first had my daughter, I know this has nothing to do with books, but when I first had my daughter, it kind of felt like the death of you as yourself and your personality. And I thought, I'm never gonna have time to read. I'm never gonna have time to do my bullet journal. I'm never gonna have time to do anything ever again. But that is not true. You go through phases, there's different stages of motherhood, there's different ages of your child, and with that comes some sacrifice, and then sometimes you get your stuff back. So right now, I'm able to bullet journal, and I like it. Okay, so I did a spread, 12 recs from friends, and these are all books that I technically did not have on my want to read. Like I might have heard of them before, and some of them I've never heard of, but they weren't books that I like had on my want to read. But a lot of people recommended different books for me to try, and these all sounded good by their synopsis, and I figured I would do one a month. And I also was going to try and do a reading vlog for them. We do have a couple thrillers in here. That's what I used to read all the time. There is, I think, 2 memoirs. That's also something I always enjoyed reading. But then there's a couple historical fiction. There's this like cozy fantasy, Legends of Lattes. I don't know, can you guys see this? There's another kind of, I guess it's historical fiction. There's a couple like women's type fiction or romance. And so these are books that I'm gonna try to kind of like get out of the funk that I feel for reading, that I'm not excited to read what I have on my list. And I also did kind of like a reading challenge spread just to keep track of the days that I read, because I do have a Kindle. I really enjoy reading on my Kindle. I can't do audio anymore, or not at the moment anyway. And so I've been trying to just hop on my Kindle when I can and read. But again, I have to be able to turn my brain off. We're gonna go through my want to read, and I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna get rid of anything that I don't care about anymore. So to begin with, I do have some that I added on here. I have all of the 12, I think, from here that I added, and that's what we see right now. Plus another one of my friends said When We Were Widows, she said that was really good. She just read it. So I added that because it sounded a little bit out of my comfort zone, but it did sound good. Then yeah, I have Things I Wish I Told My Mother, The Many Lives of Mama Love. That one sounds so good. The Wish, because I've never read a Nicholas Sparks. Ready or Not. Yeah, I have that on here. All Roads Lead Here. Okay, I have that. Let me look at this some other time because I do not remember. Second Chances, The Ripple Effects. Oh, that's right. I just got this from Amazon First Reads, and that did sound really good because I just got that one. I have What He Always Knew, because the first book, What He Doesn't Know, I gave 5 stars to in November. That was one of the books that I just like picked up, loved it. So I do want to read the second one. Then we have Role Playing. I think someone told me to read this. So that one and Out on a Limb, I think, were recent ones. Okay, Undercurrents. Grew up in a beautiful person. I don't know. I don't think so. If it doesn't pull me in right away, I'm getting rid of it. Okay, Mile High. I'm interested in that. Love and Other Things. I'll try it. Out of the Clear Blue Sky. I feel like, why have I never heard of some of these? I feel like they just show up on my list here. Second Chances, an empty nester would be part of her only child left for college. Oh, her husband abruptly dumps her for another woman. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. See, okay, I'm actually gonna get rid of this Love and Other Lost Things. Like, I wanna look at my want to read and just be like, oh my gosh, yes, that's what I wanna read. Like, that sounds so good. And I feel like I just have so many books on here that that's not how I feel. Okay, The Man That I Love. That actually sounds interesting. Okay, How to Winter, Harness Your Mindset to Thrive on Cold. I need to read that now. Pictures of You, Emma Gray. Ooh, this sounds really good. Okay, so like anything that's like amnesia, and then especially like her husband is dead, that sounds really good. I don't really feel like reading parenting books at the moment, so we're gonna take those off. All right, The Light Pirate, Story of Survival. Oh, that's right. This is, yeah, like an apocalyptic kind of survival. I remember hearing about it and that's really good. Okay, Only One Survives. Music. I do not care about music books. Nah. Plus the whole like the same thriller book written over and over again, like everybody trying to be the new No Exit. No thanks. Okay, Twisted Love Story. Oh, this is Samantha Downing. Is this out? It doesn't look like it has good reviews. Okay, I'm gonna take this off. I just don't think the like main thriller authors anymore. Like, I feel like I'm just kind of done with thriller books. I'm also taking off Christmas books because I'm not gonna wait a whole year to read those. All right, The Hike. Oh, Lucy Clark. Nah, I don't know why. Thrillers, I think I'm out of my thriller era. Okay, the first night they explore the ship. Pete's missing. All the cabin over to her. The ship is completely empty. That sounds different than just a thriller, so we're gonna keep that one. Say You'll Remember Me, Abby Jimenez, of course, that comes out, it looks like Q2 of 2025. I do actually want to try Triptych, the Will Trent series. I'm gonna get rid of this William. I'm gonna get rid of this John Mars, because like I'm currently trying to read a John Mars book and I'm just having a really hard time with him recently. I'm gonna get rid of the Fall Into Temptation because it's not fall right now. Oh, I actually did read Sleep Tight. So I'm gonna put that on my currently reading because I need to actually mark that as last year. So I actually read 48 books last year. I'm gonna get rid of Sherry Lapina because nobody cares. Oh, I think I skipped a couple down here. Okay, We All Live Here by Jojo Moyes. Let's see. Ooh, A Broken Marriage. A House That's Falling Apart. This is actually coming out. Okay, I'm gonna take it off my list. Once I hear about it, I can add it back on, but I'm not gonna leave it on there for now. Taking off Hitchcock Hotel, because again, like the spooky horror, like all that is just, it's not Halloween. I definitely do not feel like reading it at the moment. I'm gonna take off We Used to Live Here. Plan, I really like the Lazy Genius method. So The Plan, I do want to read. You Will Never Be Me. No. The House of Eve. This I think is historical fiction. 1950s. I just don't know. I think I'm gonna take this one off. Like I want to read about the 1950s, but I don't want to read about someone going to college. I kind of want to read about like being a 1950s housewife or whatever. Now this one I think I will leave on here because I've had a bunch of people recommend this one to me. So yeah, I'm gonna Take My Hand. Forgot, oh, I actually read this. So let me put this in currently reading again. Man, maybe I did hit my goal. That'd be really funny. The Unmothers, I think I'm gonna keep because someone recommended it to me. A horse has given birth to a human healthy, no. I'm not gonna keep this on here. Remove. I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna take this off. Oops, where did it go? The Good Part, take that off. Gonna take off The Secret Slave. Yeah, get rid of that. Oh, I actually did, man, I think I actually hit my goal. I read this Oh Crap Potty Training last year. I'm gonna take this one off. Some of these other health ones off. Care about that. I like went through a period of time of adding like parenting books that I was wanting to read. I just don't feel like reading them. Like I have to be like in the mood. Plus I don't have any like current problems. So I feel like I would only read it if I'm like currently, yeah. My camera battery died and then I deleted like other parenting books that I had on here. So now we're back here at Jackie, and I actually am interested in that. It's a historical fiction, I think, about like Jacqueline Onassis. Then we have The Sunflower House, and I'm pretty sure I remember like being interested in this. Nazi-run baby factory. Yeah, I was gonna try that out. Heartbreak Hill. Oh, Born with a Life-Threatening Heart Defect. I feel like I tried reading this and I don't know, I think I'm gonna remove this. Then I don't care about this. The last one at the wedding. I don't really care about Run. I don't feel like I care about The Briar Club. No. The Chamber. I actually think I did try reading that and I couldn't get into the writing style. Same with Here One Moment. I actually did read a big chunk of that, or like a decent chunk of it, and I decided to DNF. So that's coming off. All right, Imaginary Strangers. I don't remember what this is about. I don't know. I've read books by Minka Kent before and I liked them, but I just don't think I'm gonna like gravitate towards this at the moment. I don't really want to read Robin Harding right now. All these like thrillers that are just like, you know, they're probably meh at best. Breaking Free from Broke. I actually did read this last year, so I'm gonna put that there. Don't care about this stuff because I have a good money thing going on with YNAB. Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. Nah. The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek. That does not sound interesting to me at all. Looking for Jane. Especially if it's following like 3 different characters. I can't. Like books that go back and forth with POVs and then also timelines. I cannot focus on something like that at the moment. I'm gonna keep this. I think one of my patrons had recommended that and it actually sounds pretty emotional. So I'm gonna keep that one on there. Strange Sally Diamond. What? That sounds so interesting. It has a 4.18. I've like never heard of this before. You know, you can always re-add books. People act like this is like the worst thing ever when I delete books. But it's like you can always re-add them. All right, what else do we got here? A Light Through the Crack. Kidnapped. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep that. That actually sounds pretty good. Then I do really want to read the Sociopath one. A Season for Second Chances. I'm gonna take back off until maybe next winter because it might be a Christmas book. If it's not, let me know and then I'll add it back in because I did want to read it in December. I just didn't get a chance. Okay, and then I think this Ashfall one is something that one of my friends recommended and I think it's apocalyptic, so I'll leave it on to try. Legends and Lattes I'm gonna try. Stranger in Her House. Oh, this is another John Mars. Yeah, I'm just Confessions. I definitely don't think I'd be able to focus on that, especially if it's horror. The Dead Romantics. I've actually heard people talking about that. I don't know if I would like it though. A Ghostwriter? No. Definitely don't care about Taylor Jenkins Reid's historical fiction, especially that one's about tennis. Second Mrs. Astor. No, that just sounds like so much stuff. The Yellow Wife. Yeah, I have that on my Big Lies in a Small Town. No. I think I'm gonna keep this, The Taster, because that actually sounds pretty good. It's about, it is like in World War II, but it's about this girl that has to like taste this food, you know, lies in white dresses. Yeah, settle into a ranch, no thanks. I'll keep The Giver of Stars, that's on my list. Shoulder Season. Oh, this is about Playboy bunnies? That sounds very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna keep that. The Invention of Wings. I've heard people say like these are so good. Oh right, The Secret Life of Bees. Yeah, it just doesn't seem interesting to me, so I'm gonna take it off for now. Stolen Marriage. That just meh. I'm gonna take off The Last House on the Street. Miracle Creek. I think I actually tried to read that last year. Oh, what's this? Western Woman. It actually kind of sounds like The Oregon Trail, and I do really like The Oregon Trail. Am I actually gonna care about reading it? I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna remove All the Dangerous Things, but then let's read about This Night Road again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep that one. I think I remember. Yeah. Only the Beautiful. And I feel like we have so many books left. Heart and Story about a young mother to keep her daughter. Nah. If I follow the timelines, that's just too much. Okay, I think I have to take a break here because I need to actually get up Alice. Oh, here, let me quick. I'm gonna take off these like horror ones. Did read Incidents Around the House though, so I definitely hit my goal because I forgot, I guess, to update. I also have The Family Experiment on here twice because I have it in my currently reading right now. But yeah, I must have forgotten to update my currently reading. So there were definitely books on here that I've read that I didn't have on here. So I'm pretty sure I hit my goal now, which is pretty nice. But I'll have to come back and update the rest of this video later because I gotta go wake up Alice. I'm back. It's the next day and it's nap time again. So I'm gonna continue going through my list here. I think we stopped at Night Road. I'm gonna keep If You Tell by Lucinda Berry. I actually read maybe like a quarter of it last year and I have the physical copy. It's a signed copy that one of my friends sent me. I remember like actually liking it, but then I think whatever month I was reading it, I just got really busy and I never got to finish it. I'm also gonna leave The Housemaid Is Watching because I really enjoyed books 1 and 2. I gave book 1 5 stars. And then I think I gave book 2 4 stars, but I think I'm interested in reading the third one. I'm gonna delete The Paris Widow because I don't actually care about that book anymore. I think I'm gonna delete this Wild and Free. All right, and then I'm definitely gonna keep The Midwife of Hope River and Magic Hour because I remember like those I've actually been pretty interested in reading. I'm gonna take off That's Not My Name. Not interested in a lot of thrillers. Also taking off Dead of the Winter because I don't really wanna read one of those. I know Penny, you've been getting me to try and read Morrow for a really long time. I just feel, I don't know, I guess I'll keep it on, but like Taryn Fisher is just so hit or miss for me. The Children of Red Peak, I actually feel like I remember being interested in this. Oh yeah, because it's kind of like a cult, so I'm gonna leave that on there. The Stolen Girls, I don't think I remember what this is. I just don't know about that. I'm gonna take that off. I think I'm gonna leave Before We Were Yours on because I feel like if I'm in the right mood for historical fiction, that could be a really good emotional book for me. I'm gonna take off Dear Hannah because I think that's just like the sequel to Baby Teeth, and I didn't even really like Baby Teeth. Really good actually. I feel like I don't know what this is. I don't really like reading about characters that are just like falling apart. They're so quirky. I literally hate quirky characters. I don't really need to read this money one. Don't really feel like I need to read a habits one. Ask No Questions. I don't know what this is. Nah. I don't really feel like reading Gypsy Rose. I do want to watch like the actual TV series of that recently came out because I really loved like the act. I'm not gonna read The Drift. I'm not gonna read Adrift either. Nah. I read Luckiest Girl Alive, didn't love it, so I'm gonna take that one off. I'm gonna leave this Caroline Little House Revisited because I still need to finish my Laura Ingalls Wilder vlog, but I'm gonna take off September House. And then I'm leaving All the Little Raindrops, that's one of my recommendations. I'm gonna take off Savor, and I don't know why I have the regular Verity on here. I already read the regular one years ago, and then I read the one with the extra chapter last year and liked it a lot. Okay, None of This Is True. Gotta take off Lisa Jewell. The New Nanny. That just sounds like something I don't really care about, but let me read it. Actually, that does sound pretty good. I'm gonna leave that one on. The Breakup Tour. No, I hate musician stuff. Unless it's like a musical biography movie, like Elvis, Elton John, like those kinds of things. I love those. Beware the Woman. I'm just gonna take that off. It doesn't even have a high rating. Truth Be Told. Murder Case, no thanks. You Know Her, no thanks. Police Procedure, I'm just not interested in at the moment. What Lies in the Woods, I feel like I've heard that this is pretty good. No, I just don't. There's just like so many things that like just don't sound good to me, and it's like a friend group from like back in the day and someone dies. Like I just am not interested in anything like that. Don't care about Liv Constantine at the moment. I'm not gonna read Lovely Girls. I'm not gonna read Mothered. I'm not gonna read On the Savage Side. It's One of Us by J.T. Ellison. I am gonna keep that one because I believe that that one's about IVF. And then I've also heard a lot of good things about Notes on an Execution, and that sounded really good. But I'm gonna take off Wrong Place, Wrong Time. I'm gonna take off, let's read this one. I forget what this is about. Stunning Love Story. That actually sounds really good. a bombing and like, yeah, that sounds like a good love story. I'm gonna take off Gone Tonight. I'm also gonna take off Dark Corners. I'm also gonna take off Chloe Cates is Missing. I'm gonna take off this Girl Forgotten, but I do still wanna try like the triptych or whatever it's called, because I have liked Karen Slaughter in the past. Although, let me look at this one a little closer. It just, I don't know, it has a really high rating, but it just doesn't sound like it's gonna pull me in. Apocalypse Child. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is what Kimmy Schmidt was, like that show was based off of. Oh, no. It says whimsically referring to herself as a real life Kimmy Schmidt. I'm gonna keep that on because I usually like cults. I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna take this off. I don't know. I might actually try this one because this is about a serial rapist, but she's a female, so that's kind of interesting. That actually sounds pretty good. Sounds like it could be really sad. Oh, Steve and Me. I'm gonna leave that one on because I want to read that memoir. I'm gonna take off Invisible Girl. I literally have tried to read so many Lisa Jewels and I just never finish them. I'm gonna take off The Most Fun We've Ever Had, How I'll Kill You, My Little Eye, take off The Butcher. I'm gonna take this one off. I think that's just like a memoir about a Jehovah's Witness. I'm gonna take off The Family Game. All right, I'm gonna leave Sworn to Silence because I've had a lot of people want me to read that. I'm gonna keep The Damage because I think I remember being interested in that and Lena has, you know, really recommended that one. I'm gonna keep Arsenic and Adobo just in case I decide to do like the whole cooking, bookish inspired cooking. I'm gonna keep The Island. Actually, I feel like maybe Natasha Preston is someone that I should try and read when I'm in this like lull, because her books are always like really easy young adult thrillers that you can fly through. And I feel like maybe that's what I need. Let's see what this little sister is. Oh, it says number 4. I'm also gonna leave Defending Jacob because that's another one that I need to read. I'm gonna take off This Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents because I don't really feel like reading it. I'm gonna take off Summer of 69 because I also don't really care. I'm gonna keep Pack Up the Moon. I hear that's very emotional. I'm gonna take off this memoir because I really don't know what it, like who that is. I read a Michael Robotham book years ago and I loved it and I feel like no one ever really talks about it. So I think I'm gonna keep this one, but let me read the synopsis again. Yeah, I'll keep this just in case. Maybe I'll try it. Little Disasters. Yeah, that just seems so vague. I'm gonna take this off. Gonna take off My Sweet Angel. I think I tried reading that and it was just so dense. I'm gonna keep The Collective. I still am interested in that. I wanna read the Will Smith memoir. I'm gonna take off This Might Hurt because I've just heard that's like terrible. When I was 10, I just feel like I'm just never interested in this one, but everyone raves about it. I don't really care about it. I don't know why. I read the synopsis and it just sounds boring. I'm also gonna take off the Freddie Mercury's because I think I tried to read one and it was done so badly. Gonna take off this memoir because don't really care about that anymore. Gonna take off this Robin Harding. Oh, there's The Court of Thorns and Roses. That one I'm gonna leave, even though I read it. I was gonna reread it this year. And then My Daddy the Pedophile. I just feel like I don't really care about that anymore at the moment. I think I tried like reading it. Go back to our want to read. It looks like we have 61 books, so we've definitely cleaned it up. And that just sounds really cool to like kind of really hone in on what I want to try, what I want to read, and not feeling like so overwhelmed. I feel like I think about books in the way that I've like do toy rotations for Alice. So like when we go to like the Children's Museum, there's obviously like thousands of toys everywhere. And she just kind of like runs around not knowing like what to really focus on and what to really play with. And a lot of times I kind of have to like pull her into like one of the rooms and be like, okay, like let's focus on this because there's just so much. And I feel like that's how I feel with reading. When my list is just hundreds and thousands long, I don't want to read anything because you know, maybe I'm in a specific mood for something, but I can't find it throughout all of the books that maybe I just like kind of heard something good about. And so I'm hoping that like now that this is smaller, I can really just remember what each book is and what I'm in the mood for and what to read. So I'm very excited about that. I'm gonna go and look. Okay, so my currently reading, we did, okay, Sleep Tight. I ended up, I think, giving that 1 star. Actually, let me go here so that way I can update these. So, okay, Incidents Around the House. I think I ended up giving it 2 stars because I actually had a really good time with it, but then I just like really hated the ending. Like it just like spun me around in circles, and then it just, I learned nothing. So yeah, I think I gave it 2 stars. Then Breaking Free from Broke, I think I gave that like 3 or 4. Then Oh Crap Potty Training, I really enjoyed it, and I just hear people raving about it. I haven't started potty training yet, although Alice is definitely ready, but I'm giving it 5 stars because I thought it was well written and it all made sense, and other people just rave about it. Super Gut, I'm only gonna give this 3 because I just remember not being super impressed with it. I've been writing reviews for like years, so it's crazy to think that like this is like last year was the first year that I only wrote like half a year's worth of reviews, but I just don't remember the books enough to really go and like write reviews, so I feel like I'm just not going to. I gave this 1 star. I didn't like anything about it. I'll share. How did that, like literally, I didn't sit here and like count them. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's hilarious to think that like I just forgot to even mark like currently reading on some of them, because a lot of times like I'll start the books on my Kindle and it just like marks it for me, but then some of the books I read like in physical copy or like audio. Wow, that's funny. Okay, well, I think we're done here now. So yeah, you got to see what my want to read looks like for this upcoming year. I feel a lot better having like decluttered my Goodreads TBR shelf. Now I just have to read. Maybe I'll go do that. Maybe I'll start reading. So anyway, I'll see you guys in another video. Bye everyone.